think I'll let you go through the ARC IC, and then we'll entertain some more questions.
That looks okay, I guess. Um, this is as Randy mentioned, there's not many people that use this program, but it's something that you may want to take a look at. Um, uh, we're proud of this program as well because I don't know that even Texas A&M has a program like this. We're one of the few universities that deal with the ARC IC, and we only, I guess there's a limitation here too. We only allow 3 farms. So somebody said, "Well, why don't you have like 10 farms?" Well, haven't had time to do any programming. It's easier said than done to add more farms to this coding here. So if you have more than 3 farms, try to uh, jerry rig it and put several farms into one or something. I'm not sure how you could really do it, and then I believe, Randy, if I'm right, do you have to enroll all of your farms, or can you pick which farms you want to enroll in ARC-IC?
It's the same thing. You can enroll one farm, you
Yep.
can enroll 2 farms, you can have your third and fourth farm in PLC and Arc County, but each FSA farm structure for us can either be all Arc IC or it has to be a combination of PLC and Arc County.
Okay. But no matter what you do, the ARC-IC is combined, the farms that you choose then. So on this, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
So in this simple example here, I just have a farm that has this table one. You just put in your farm number, and then you put in the total crop land in the farm, and then the total base acres. You don't have to enter your individual bases, just the total base acres. And then table 2 here, all you do is enter what you're planning on planting for 2025. So let's just say you're going to have 100 acres of wheat, 100 acres of soybeans, 100 acres of corn. You total up 300 acres for your farm. If you have different shares, you can put that in here, and then these will fit. That you can add farms and put the numbers in here as well. For this simple example, we just have one farm. Always read the fine print on the bottom, which nobody reads, of course, but make sure and read that. Table 3, you don't have to do anything. It pulls in data from the side. And what that is that it brings in either the higher of the national marketing year average price or the reference price. And you notice that wheat here was fairly low. The national price was low in 19 and 20. So we know that this current year reference price is 556. So you see it pulled that in for those lower years. And then it pulled the various, you don't have to worry about this. This is what it uses to calculate the numbers. The next thing you have to enter then is what do you think your your history of your farm yields? 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. These are certified yields. And if you read down on the bottom here, um, enter the higher of your actual farm yield or 80% of T when the crop was growing. So here are the T yields on this tab. You click on this tab and you can find your county, find your crop, and you need to enter that in manually. Okay. So that's what you do. And on this simple example, I plugged in a 30.4 and a 30.4 here for a T yield when there was a lower farm yield. And that's all you do. Now, people shy away from this program. Oh, we have too much to do and too much to keep track of. But once you do it once, all you have to do, if you remain in the ARC-IC, you just add the next year and they've got a history of your old yields. It's not that hard once you get into it. On the bottom here, if the crop was not growing, let's say it's prevent plant, okay? Then you enter the higher of the county year average trend yield or 80% of T. So you look at the county averages, but this county average says non-irrigated yields, it's the higher of the trend adjusted yield or 80% of T. And this other tab here is the 80% of T yields. You'll find your county, find your crop, enter the higher of in that area there on top. The next thing is table 5 is really a wild guess. What there again, what do you think the price is going to be for marketing year 2025? And then I have some suggestions here on this back tab. You don't have to use them. And then the big question is what is your yield going to be? Okay, so all you can really do is put in average. How would you know if it's going to be a drought or not? And based on this, table 6 shows you that there is no payment on ARC-IC using this. But the main thing is to do some scenarios here. Let's say there was a drought. Let's say you only had 40 bushel wheat and you had 20 bushel soybeans and you had 120 bushel corn. And you can see based on those yields, it changes your actual revenue. So you actually come up with a $6,000 payment using this. And these yields are going to be what you actually will end up to when you certify your yields, but it's kind of a guess at this point on whether you should go into ARC-IC. I don't know that anybody can really guess that they're going to have a bad yield, but you could try your best to guess what you think. If you're in a really dry county, maybe you could predict something less than average. And it also works very great if like Brandy said, if you didn't get your crop planted at all one year, you had all prevent plant and you put in zeros, if you put in, actually it says if you put in when the crop was not growing, you need to enter in your T yield or your 80%. If you plug in those yields, and if you have zero yields on that year, you really can make a good payment, but that's not the case for most. Okay. So this is the ARC-IC, something that we have posted on our website right next to the main calculator, something you probably could look at just to see for your own information on whether you think it's something you could check into.